Hello there, Mustang athletes and families. This is Mrs. Brantner, Superintendent of Schools, and our wonderful athletic director, Mr. Free, here to give you a little information about the shape of athletics currently. So some of you may have seen there was a press release that came out today from Section 3. That's the section that we're part of. And we wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we think the purpose of that press release is, and maybe fill in some of the details that are lacking that might be causing you to have some questions. So first and foremost, we know that the section was really trying to get ahead of the possibility that we might be able to have some sports seasons continuing throughout the year. We did have a pretty successful fall season, and I think the thought is there's potential for us to have other successful seasons. So the section really wanted to make sure they were prepared by setting dates, beginning dates and end dates for the various seasons, because obviously there's some differences from what we're used to. I think they also really wanted to identify and clarify what sports would be contained within each one of those seasons. So there was another pretty major reason to put this press release out, and it was to answer the questions around what about indoor track? So I think it's pretty clear from the press release that due to a variety of factors, two of which have to do with, obviously, indoor track includes large numbers of students, many schools coming together, and a real lack of facilities to safely carry on not only the preparation for meets, but also the meets. The section has made the decision to cancel the indoor track season. So if you're an indoor track person or your child is, unfortunately, that won't be happening for the 2021 school year. So you're probably wondering, what does all of this mean? Well, if we get the green light to have winter sports, I'm really curious, Mr. Free, what winter sports would be happening?
So the sports that we would be offering during the winter season would be boys and girls basketball, ice hockey, both boys and girls ice hockey, as long as the combinations go through with the other schools, because we do play for other schools that are hosting
Sure.
ice hockey, and wrestling. One of the issues related with that, is the fact that all of these sports have been identified as high-risk sports.
Right.
So in order for us to even proceed with these dates that they proposed for these seasons, we also need a guidance document from the Department of Health that tells us how we can go forth and have those practices and games with high-risk sports, and from the governor's office. We need that okay in order to proceed with that season.
Right. So there's a big if around the winter sports season. Obviously, we've had lots of discussions in-house imagining, can we do this? How could we do it? Can we do it safely? And we're really just trying to prepare ourselves in the event that the governor comes on during one of his press conferences and says, hey, you can have winter sports. So as you know, the challenges are many. Just bringing sports inside is a challenge. Obviously, the close contact of all of those sports creates some potential issues. And so I think we're really waiting at this point to get some more information from the governor's office. So right now, once that happens, certainly we'll know a little bit more, and we can potentially proceed with something, or at least, we'll know that we can't, and we can sort of close that loop and put it to rest. I'm confused. I saw in the press release that there's a fall 2 sports season, and I'm thinking, I know that obviously we had a fall sports season and some schools didn't. Can you talk to us a little bit more about what that fall 2 sports season's all about?
Right, for the fall 2 sports season for Marcellus, because we did participate in the fall 1 season, the only sports that we would be offering in that fall 2 sports season would be football and girls volleyball, which are also both listed as high-risk sports. So again, we have to have that updated Department of Health guidance and the green light from the governor's office in order to proceed with those sports during that fall 2 season.
Right. I'm thinking back to the guidance we got in the summer when this was all starting, and the governor's office and the Department of Health had classified sports under different categories. So you're right, the sports that we played this fall were considered low and moderate risk sports, because
Correct.
I'm pretty sure soccer was at least a moderate, and
Correct.
we were still given the green light on that. But obviously, every sport that we would be doing for the winter sports season and that fall too are the high risk sports. So we really need a green light on even doing high risk sports first before anything else can happen. Well, everyone, I guess what I can tell you is that we've given you, at this point, the best information we have. And what we'll have to do going forward is just wait until we hear some information from the governor and, of course, the health department. And then we'll be able to provide you with additional details about whether or not we will be able to proceed with a winter sports season and what sports will be included. So I can guarantee you that Mr. Free and I will be back with more information the minute we get it. So until then, be patient, and we'll be back soon. Take care, Mustangs.